Nancy Pelosi was responsible. She didn't do her job.
The question was about you as president, not about former Speaker Pelosi, but I do want Vice President Harris to respond here.
This clip may be the most egregious example of ABC debate moderators' direct actions and inactions to affect viewers' perception of the information presented at the debate.
I was at the Capitol on January 6th. I was the vice president-elect. I was also an acting senator. I was there. And on that day, the President of the United States incited a violent mob to attack our nation's capital, to desecrate our nation's capital. On that day, 140 law enforcement officers were injured, and some died. And understand, the former president has been indicted and impeached for exactly that reason. But this is not an isolated situation. Let's remember Charlottesville, where there was a mob of people carrying tiki torches.
These guys literally shut Donald Trump off and gave Kamala the opportunity to lie. Kamala repeatedly told blatant lies that we are so refutable, but ABC moderators refused to fact-check her.
The president said, the former president said, stand back and stand by. So for everyone watching who remembers what January 6th was, I say we don't have to go back. Let's not go back. We're not going back. It's time to turn the page. And if that was a bridge too far for you, well, there is a place in our campaign for you to stand for country, to stand for our democracy, to stand for rule of law, and to end the chaos, and to end the approach that is about attacking the foundations of our democracy because you don't like the outcome. And be clear on that point. Donald Trump, the candidate, has said in this election there will be a bloodbath if this and the outcome of this election is not to his liking. Let's turn the page on this. Let's not go back. Let's chart a course for the future and not go backwards to the past.
Yeah, wonderful people, viewers and subscribers, and welcome back again on this platform where we tell you undiluted truth. And I must tell you, many of you, my people, especially living in the US, will not like this truth. You know I'm a trumpeter. And you know the reason already. And many of my very respected people, whom I love and respect so much, we dislike this video and we never share it. But that is the undiluted truth. Yesterday, Trump sank the ship of the Democrats when he had a debate with Kamala. Listen to his summary at his closing speech.
So she just started by saying she's going to do this, she's going to do that, she's going to do all these wonderful things. Why hasn't she done it? She's been there for 3.5 years. They've had 3.5 years to fix the border. They've had 3.5 years to create jobs and all the things we talked about. Why hasn't she done it? She should leave right now, go down to that beautiful White House, go to the Capitol, get everyone together and do the things you want to do, but you haven't done it and you won't do it because you believe in things that the American people don't believe in. You believe in things like we're not going to frack. We're not going to take fossil fuel. We're not going to do things that are going to make this country strong, whether you like it or not. Germany tried that, and within 1 year, they were back to building normal energy plants. We're not ready for it. We can't sacrifice our country for the sake of bad vision. But I just ask one simple question. Why didn't she do it? We're a failing nation. We're a nation that's in serious decline. We're being laughed at all over the world. All over the world, they're laughed. I know the leaders very well. They're coming to see me. They call me. We're laughed at all over the world. They don't understand what happened to us as a nation. We're not a leader. We don't have any idea what's going on. We have wars going on in the Middle East. We have wars going on with Russia and Ukraine. We're going to end up in a third world war, and it'll be a war like no other because of nuclear weapons, the power of weaponry. I rebuilt our entire military. She gave a lot of it away to the Taliban. She gave it to Afghanistan. what these people have done to our country. And maybe toughest of all is allowing millions of people to come into our country. Many of them are criminals, and they're destroying our country. The worst president, the worst vice president in the history of our country.
And this is the absolute truth. The same thing is even applicable in Africa. In fact, politicians are the same all over the world. They sell lies to the people. And the people are so gullible that they buy into those lies. You know, lie is popular. And from the debate, for those of you that watch the debate, I am not an American and I'm not intending to be. Okay? These people that call themselves Democrats, you know what they represent? Globalization, new world order. Don't call me a conspiracy theorist. You know where they are heading to. The population of the world, population control, through wars, through starvation, through pandemics, through all manner of conspiracy. They are the real conspirators that call others conspiracy theorists. These people who believe in abortion, they will sponsor abortion. They will encourage it. Just like we saw the other time in the UK, where a teacher who refused to acknowledge transgender is being arrested.
I have a right to work here.
He has a right.
I have a right to be here. And
You're arresting
not
him.
to tell students they need to tell puberty blockers.
You're arresting him
Not
because
to
he
tell
won't
students
endorse
that they need to take
transgender. Shame upon you.
Here at Wilson's Hospital School, senior clerk, teacher, being arrested for not accepting transgenderism.
Nor should I. And I'm not going to turn my back on my duty to my students.
I'm not going to turn back on my duty.
No, you don't have a duty to do what's wrong.
No, you never
And to
have a
bring me
duty to
before
do
the
what's
court.
Even
To bring me before the court.
inside those
No,
gates.
to bring me before the
Even though
court.
there's abuse.
This is a
Puberty
disgrace.
blockers.
Children are being
Puberty
taught
blockers.
to tell a young boy.
Suicide.
Surgery.
Yes, surgery, mutilation.
Yes.
Yes.
Mutilation.
It's a
And
disgrace.
suicide. An
Mutilation.
absolute disgrace.
Mutilation.
An absolute
Yeah,
disgrace.
telling a
Puberty
boy that
blockers.
he's gender
Do you have
neutral.
a conscience?
Yeah, that he has to take chemicals. That he has to
He
take
has broken no
chemicals.
law.
That he has to take
broken no
chemicals.
law.
To be heavy-handed.
No, that he has to
He
take
has broken no
chemicals.
law.
I'm not going to be heavy-handed.
He has broken no law.
Shame upon you.
You have no right.
Shame upon you, Garvey. Shame upon you.
You've no right to do what you're doing.
Taylor Swift just endorsed Kamala Harris. Taylor Swift, yeah, she posts a picture of herself with her cat. Would you look at this? You can, of course. Like you can kiss your sales to the Republican audience goodbye, Taylor. Hope you enjoyed them while you had them. I was so heartened and impressed by her selection of her running mate, Tim Walz, who has been standing up for LGBTQ rights, IVF, and a woman's right to her own body for decades. Oh my God. So this woman is fine with his plan to take custody of the children from parents who don't want them to chop off their body parts and put them in Minnesota court's custody so the body parts can be chopped off and they can be sterilized outside the custody of their parents. That's what led Taylor Swift to endorse him. Some lunatic dropped a note in my personal mailbox outside my house begging me not to boycott Taylor Swift, as though I have that power. I'm allowed to criticize Taylor Swift, and I don't give a shit who gets upset. This is disgusting. If she wants to vote Harris Walz, she can do it all she wants. But to say the reason she's doing it is because of Tim Walz's stance on LGBTQ, F you, Taylor Swift, and F all of the people who want to see these children have body parts chopped off and watch them sterilized under the age of consent, and then will ride off to their multi-gazillion-dollar mansions, never to think of them again.
Ask her that question.
Why don't you
That's
answer
the
the
problem.
question, would you
because
veto?
under Roe v.
Answer
Wade,
the question, would you veto?
you could do abortions in the 7th month, the 8th month, the 9th.
This is the narrative they are pushing throughout the world. It is against humanity. And that is what Trump stands for.
So that debate was a bunch of BS. I mean, was this a debate between Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris, or a debate between Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris versus the moderators? Because the moderators were literally debating Trump and even fact-checking him. They were like, Trump, it says right here, like, that's not correct. We got a piece of paper from a manager that says, like, that's not correct. but they didn't even care to fact check Kamala Harris on the propaganda Project 2025. Yeah, it was very biased. It was so biased. And this is exactly why he has my vote. This is exactly why I'm voting for him.
If you listen carefully, you will see people yelling, Donald Trump, they want him. You see, this debate had brought millions of more Americans routing for Donald Trump.
But that is not my reason for supporting Trump. My reason for supporting Trump mainly is the reason why my people hate Trump. Because he wants to close the border. He wants to tighten their border. He doesn't want immigrants to come to their homeland. And that is what I would like. Not that people should not travel. People can travel and come back. But those of us in Africa and from Africa, what stops us from making our African soil greater than America? Because if you look everywhere, you will see that Africa has all the potentials to stand out among the community of nations. And that is the reason. Why won't Africa work for Africans? Why can't we have good leadership in Africa to fix Africa? Why must the best of Africa continue to migrate using immigration policies of the world? Especially America, UK, Germany, China, and the rest of them. Extracting the best of Africa. Both our resources and both our human resources and our natural resources. And that is why I love Trump. Okay? I am in Africa. I'm proudly an African, and I don't intend to be any other place or reside any other place. Though I can visit, meet my people, it is not bad that you're residing anywhere, but you will not gain the respect you deserve as an African anywhere around the world if Africa continues to be seen as a graveyard, as a cemetery for Africans who have lived abroad and given their best abroad. Then when they die, they repatriate them back home for burial. Until they start seeing Africa as the future of the world, the hope of the entire world, you are not going to have that respect. The racism you are crying about will continue, and the slavery of modern era will not stop. And that is my position and the position of GGM, and that is why we are preaching this message. Africans in America should understand that. And those of you in America already, stand your ground. Don't allow anyone to intimidate you. Support the effort of those of us in Africa trying to fix Africa on your behalf, so that no man will have any reason to toss you around and treat you less than a human. And that is the vision I have, that Africans and black people all over the world, wherever they are, will be respected as much as others are being respected too. I'm Asuchinadu Peters, a Pan-Africanist and the advocate for good governance. If you think this reflects your opinion, please help me share it. And I know so many of my people who are eager, looking forward to migrate to Jakarta, will not like this one. And those of them who are still struggling to have their papers, I just hope you get one, but do things the right way. And I tell you, you will get that thing you want. But above all, let us fix our homeland. Please share this video. Bye-bye for now.